Dad, we're at the stage of life right now where we're sitting here talking for about our latest blood results for the last 10 minutes. Our boy Mike just put up video game numbers at the doctor today. I mean, Mike, if they're not able, and listen, this is coming from somebody who the reason why I don't like going to the doctor is because the stuff scares me. If they're not able to calculate something, that's never a good sign. I don't think.
Triglyceride result indicated is too high for accurate LDL calculation.
That's absurd, bro.
It's bad, man.
I mean, and Dad, you can't laugh because meanwhile on the other side, I mean, what are you drinking right now? Bet of my life.
Dad, Dad lives a life I can't afford to live. Um,
You
truly,
mean
like
literally or what?
no, well, no. I mean, like I think by the time I'm Dad's age, like if I stay on this trajectory, obviously, like I'll have to absolutely be a water only individual. Maybe I'll come up with some ways to spice it up, keep it fresh.
Yeah, maybe they'll come up with a pill for that.
Well,
The
maybe.
doctors collectively they do hate to see us coming. The fact that Dr. Martin at one point had all three of us under his tutelage, under his
And
his
Aunt
coaching
Sandra.
tree. Yeah, I mean, he deserved. I don't know how much he gets paid. I mean, the insurance companies are doing all right, but he deserved better than that. I feel bad for him. What's going on, boys?
Well, welcome to Two Daves and a Mike. I'm David Allen DA, along with David Allen D Ray and Michael Allen, and yeah, that's our update on our blood work. It's everything's high, so
I have actually got some really good. I've got some good stuff in here, though. Let me just say, protein, money. Uh, yeah, protein looks really good. So,
That's it. That's
well, we only tested for the specific stuff today.
it's
So,
like what you definitely are eating enough meat. We can confirm that. They're like, yep,
yeah,
yeah. I hate that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
maybe one day I'll just like research all the things that I could have that are worse. I think that would be a good like gratitude practice. Is instead of me WebMDing my own stuff, why don't I just sit around and WebDM or WebMD like stuff that's way worse? And then, uh, well, this is never mind. I was gonna make an analogy, but I don't want to. So
Okay. All right. Um, coming to you on a Monday night. Got things going on tomorrow night, so coming at you a little early. I had an idea instead of doing buy or sell because I feel like it was getting cold. We were buying and selling the same games on accident. We didn't really know what we were doing. I've come to you with an old ESPN trick,
okay.
and I'm calling it the Savannah Sweet Tea 6 pack is what we're gonna hit right here. The Savannah Sweet Tea 6 pack. I
All right.
have no idea if that promo code is still working, but if it is, it's 2 Daves. Enter at Savannah Sweet Tea Co. So I
All right.
got 6 topics for us from around the leagues this weekend, and I've got pointed questions that I'm asking you two fellas. So
All right. Let's do it.
I think we have to start this week with a topic that we are getting asked about more than any other topic, and people want us to be talking about. And Dad and I, at least, are not talking about it out of disgust, which is what is going on in Chapel Hill. So I want to hear you guys' take. I know, Michael, you have been anti Clemson, but they got right and got right in a hurry this week against Chapel Hill or against UNC in Chapel Hill. So, boys, are we looking at a one and done from Coach Belichick? Are we looking at is he going to get out of the season? Are the Heels going to win 5 games? What's the state of things? Do you think?
Well, I'll say no. They're not going to win 5 games. I don't see 3 wins left on the schedule at this point. Now, anything can and could happen, but I don't see it happening. Um, I don't know what Coach Belichick thought he was going to get by coming to Carolina. So I have no way of answering the question, will he hang around for another year? I would assume that he knew if he was coming in to bring in 70 players out of the portal and half of those weren't going to be at spring practice, you got to believe that he knew this was going to be an uphill climb this year. Now, after he has a full recruiting cycle and after he gets in the portal again, and after he has, assuming, a full roster at spring practice, if we're in this same boat next season, yeah, then I can see then the wheels start falling off and people start talking about firing him or he starts talking about leaving or whatever. But here's the thing. If he's truly trying to position himself for another NFL job so he can go be the greatest or the winningest coach in NFL history, and he needs, a good season or so to do that in the NFL, maybe two. Dude, going, 2-10 or 2-9 at Carolina ain't gonna help him get another job. So I think he at least needs to hang around for another year. But again, I don't know what his mindset was when he took the job, because if he was thinking he was just going to roll into the ACC and win 9 games this year with this roster, then yeah, he might be done sooner than the end of the season.
Is it crazy to think, Michael, that Bill Belichick, the greatest head coach of all time in professional football, thought that he could roll in and win 6 games in the ACC? Because I actually don't think it was that crazy. I mean, I think that's what everybody thought, was that they were just the floor was like a 6-win team because Belichick would be able to out scheme people, and that's not happened.
I think one of the things, I think about this all the time with the NFL, where any team can beat anybody on any given Sunday. It feels like every week there's somebody who ends up being competitive or some game that ends up being competitive that you didn't expect to be that way. Or I'll give you another, even a better example. I think that the Ravens are fine as a team. Maybe they're not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I mean, they look bad.
Historically bad defense, it feels like, yeah.
The Texans came in and hung like 60, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is any given week. It can be competitive or it can be a blowout, whatever. You get what I'm saying? I don't think college football is like that. I think that Bill Belichick can will an NFL team with good coaching and good culture to the next level. I'm not sure that you can just show up and do the same thing in the college atmosphere. And then also it's been the worst cultural look for Bill ever. We went 30 years without knowing a damn thing about Bill Belichick. And then we figured out why it's a good thing that we never knew anything about him in 6 months. I mean, it's just been bad for him on both flips of the coin. And I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if he ever gets the NFL phone to ring again, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that ship has probably sailed.
Dad, I almost texted him, but he's been doing so many media hits today that 2 Daves and a Mike might have been the last straw. Our boy Ross Martin went absolutely viral. 2.7 million views on his tweet this morning. I'm just going to quote him, and I texted him back and forth with him. I will not reveal anything else. According to sources inside the UNC football program, it is a directive from the staff, parentheses, Bill Belichick, to not tweet/retweet anything Patriots related. That's clearly why UNC football has not posted anything from Drake May's electric primetime win over the Buffalo Bills. About an hour after this, UNC went ahead and made a post about what Drake did. And so Ross went viral. Barstool, Fox Sports folks were talking about him. He went on New York Sports Radio earlier today. So, yeah, the pettiness of the Belichick regime, it was already known that they were banning the Patriots from coming to sit. When I cover games for the DTH, I would sit behind a NFL scout who was just there to watch the game. They had already banned the Patriots from that. So the pettiness knows no bounds in Chapel Hill right now.
Bro, shout out friend of the pod, Ross Martin, bro. Claps for Ross. What a good piece of reporting right there, man. I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just going to bring that up because I had seen his tweet. I mean, I guess he's just that butthurt over the Patriots firing him. I mean, and I get it. I mean, he was everything in New England, and now he's not. And so Yeah, interesting and good job on Ross having that out there. Um, I hate it because I did see a Mac Brown tweet today with
Yep.
Drake
Yep.
congratulating
Absolutely.
him on a big win last night. And by the way, we'll skip to the NFL real quick to say big time win last night for Drake May.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, here's the thing about the Savannah Sweet Tea 6-pack. Some of the drinks are bigger than the others. So, that was a big one. We're going to stay in college football here. And I'm going to ask you the question, which is how does Penn State lose at UCLA, falls out of the top 25? James Franklin has been at Penn State for almost a decade now, if not longer than a decade. They scored 10 points against Utah, 23 against UNLV, 10 against New Mexico, 14 against Northwestern, and then dropped 42 on Penn State. Guys, what was your takeaway from UCLA and Penn State?
Well, did you see the clip of the guy who was, I think, having his first game as their offensive coordinator at UCLA,
That's
who didn't know how to?
That's Rick Neuheisel's son,
All
the
right,
former UCLA head coach, Rick Neuheisel.
shout out Rick Neuheisel, and shout
Didn't
out
know
to
how
his
to
son.
use the
Did not
thing.
know
Is
how to
that-
use the headset. I know that this is a audio pod, but people, when you get a second, look this fella up, whatever his name is, something Neuheisel apparently. He looks like he works for UCLA. I've never seen a more UCLA looking individual than this guy. Didn't know how to work the headset, but he knew how to beat Penn State. That's kind of hilarious. Obviously not funny in the instance, or in a loss. He probably doesn't admit that in the post game presser. But you got to love what a win does to just get some stories out, like sharing something kind of embarrassing like that. So.
I mean, honestly, he might have been calling plays based on NCAA football to 2025. I mean, I don't know. He had only had that job for 2 days prior to him pulling out the 42, 35, 37. They took a safety at the end. So 42, 37. Yeah, and the DC for Penn State's making like $3 million. So I think he's like the highest paid DC in the country. So kudos to Neuheisel kid. Yeah, but Michael's right. He looked like a surfer kid, long blonde hair, and they doused him with the Gatorade afterwards. So that was fun. And they were 0-4.
0-4.
Was 0-4, and Nico Amaliva, took a week off and came back, and I guess wherever he went for his, darkness, solitude, like Aaron Rodgers, he found whatever he was looking for.
Yeah, well, we'll leave the college football there. We'll say a few big games this week. Indiana and Oregon, both undefeated, top 10 matchup. Bama and Mizzou, 8 versus 14. That's in Missouri. And then Ohio State and Illinois, 1 versus 17. So a few big ones. Any other college football takes you want to get off?
Oh, you definitely got to get off the take about Arch Manning. I mean, at what point do you say Arch Manning, it's a mistake? It's, whatever. I mean, he sat behind Quinn Ewers for 2 years and everybody couldn't believe it. And maybe this is why, because maybe he knew he wasn't this good. I don't know, but Texas going to Florida and losing to the Gators, who have been basically getting beat by everybody they've played up until now. And that's not true, but they weren't over, but they were not a good Florida team. That is a big loss, and they still got to go to Oklahoma, I think, this Saturday.
Yes.
And they still got Georgia on the schedule. So they got 2 more L's at least on their schedule.
They obviously Oklahoma, Red River rivalry. I guess it's technically a neutral site game. Yeah. And then they've got Vandy at home, who's currently ranked 20th. They go to Athens, and then they host Texas A&M, who's currently ranked 5th. So long way to go for Arch.
But the kid's making $7 million. So can you bench him? I mean, can they? I mean, because normally, if this were not an NIL deal, you would have said 5. I mean, if it's 5 years ago or whatever, 8 years ago, they would have benched him, and they got a 5-star in reserve. Because they're Texas and they're one of the premier programs in the country. I have no idea what they do with this situation.
We will see. We will see. Mike, any other college football things you want to say?
No.
All right, we'll end with the NFL. So my next two are going to be Major League Baseball related. We are in the divisional series here. National League is playing tonight, so we'll start there. Dodgers and Phillies are underway. Cubs and Brewers tonight. I wanted to just pose you this question: are we rooting for a meteor in Dodgers Phillies? And then what do you got? What are your rooting interest in Cubs Brewers as we get down to just 8 teams now left in baseball?
A meteor. I mean, yeah. I mean, come on. Dodgers are up 4-0 in the 8th, so they're about to take a 2-0 lead on the Phillies. Couldn't happen to a better group, other than the fact that we don't want the Dodgers to win either. That's why the idea about the meteor. Michael picked the Brewers a couple weeks ago. You picked the Cubs, so I'm just going to say whoever wins is good for the pod, because one of you's got one of you's got the other. D-Ray, your American League team put Michael's out. I got the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays have absolutely run a duck on the Yankees both the first 2 nights. They might close them out tomorrow, which, would be great for me. So we'll see.
Oh my! They play best 3 out of 5 in the NLDS Gosh, I can't keep up. They changed the rules too much.
I'd like to make a complaint.
All right.
Bro, it's the MLB. Y'all play like 400 games a year, and then we've got all these short series. I think everything 7 games. I think everything 7 games. I don't want any play-ins. I don't want any 3-game series. I don't want a 1-game series. I don't want a 5-game series. 7 series. You play 200 games.
Okay, well then they got to
play a full series.
Okay, then get rid of the wild cards and go back to the way it used to be. You had the American League Championship Series and the National League Championship Series, and then you had the World Series. You don't have the wild card and the divisional series. Those
you're taking this personally.
No,
I didn't realize. Are you Rob Manfred? Is that you under that mask?
I'm just saying, we will be playing baseball at Christmas time if you're going to play a 7-game series in the wild card and the divisional.
Yeah, but my issue is that I think the third divisional team not being able to get the bye is kind of bogus, that they have to play a 3-game. I think if you win your division, you should at least be guaranteed a 5-game set. But
agreed.
Let's flip it over then. Mike, do you have any National League takes before we flip over to the American League?
Nah, dude, I don't care. That's the only thing I wanted to get off.
Let's flip to the American League right quick, because our boy Mad Max Fried, who had a stellar year for the Yankees, pitched a great game 1 against the Red Sox, and last night 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned, and it now continues an unfortunate trajectory in his career. He's 2-6 with a 5.3 ERA in 22 appearances in the postseason, and as Dad alluded to, the Yankees trail 2-0. The Tigers and Mariners are split at 1-1 headed into Game 3, and we're in one of those same situations where the 2 teams, in my opinion, that are the most fun that I'd like to see the World Series are playing each other in both sets. I would be pulling for the Cubs or Brewers over either the Dodgers and Phillies, and the Tigers and Mariners, who I think both have fun, exciting stories, over personally the Yankees and the Blue Jays. What are your thoughts after the first series and then a few games into the American League divisional series?
Well, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is legit for the Blue Jays. I mean, he hit a home run in the first game in that, 10-1. Then yesterday hit a grand slam in a 13-7 game. That was, I think, 9-0 in the fourth inning. Complete blowout. So, I mean, it looks like Toronto's got the bats going, so they're going to be hard to deal with in the American League, regardless of who comes out of the Tigers, Mariners. So, Max Fried, I mean, he's kind of like, what's his name for the Dodgers? Got 3,000 strikeouts this year. What's his name? Kershaw. I mean, Kershaw has been a great regular season pitcher for the Dodgers and has been a abysmal postseason pitcher for the Dodgers. So, I don't know what it is about some people I mean, just think about the Braves bullpen on the World Series run. I
They
mean,
just get hot. Yeah.
you just get hot, but you also are one of those just dogs that goes out there and says, hey, you ain't going to score tonight,
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about some people that have that mentality in the playoffs and some people don't, or have that ability in the playoffs and others don't. I mean, I think we saw that when the Braves won the World Series. I mean, Jock Peterson got hot. Then it was, uh, you know,
Eddie Rosario,
Eddie
Jorge
Rosario
Soler. Yeah.
pitch to him, and then Soler hits one out of the stadium in the World Series. I mean, so anyway.
Eddie Rosario looked like Ted Williams for about 10 days. It was insane.
I think it literally was 10 days too, probably.
Yeah.
But that's all it took, and it was the exact right 10 days.
And it got him a contract.
David Ray.
And Soler got a contract too. He just didn't get it with the Braves. So,
well, neither of them did, right? Because Rosario went to the Nationals.
Yeah, but he came back to the Braves first because
Yeah.
the Braves re-signed him initially, and then
Okay, I see what you're saying. David Ray, do you think you're the kind of guy who would show up in the moment, or do you think that you would shrink in the
Shrink.
playoffs? Yeah, I think so
100%.
too. I think so too, for sure.
If they would have put one of those whoop meters on me at the first tee at the state championship that they did at the Ryder Cup, you would have seen. I don't like you don't. I didn't feel my hands and I ended up making a birdie on that hole, but on the first tee.
I'm
What?
going to say you started 3 under par. Your first
Yeah,
three
but
holes,
then I shrunk. Then I shrunk. Yeah, and then the shrinkage occurred. Yeah.
Oh, I know, but I was just like, oh my gosh, my man is playing out of his mind. We're going to win
But
the state championship.
Tyler Hendricks is going to love this. But I would say weirdly in non-athletic things, when I'm really nervous, I feel like I kind of have out of body.
Bro.
Like it's just
Yes.
yeah, and I just become I can't even explain it, but it's just like I dial in, so
I have always felt this way with like wedding speeches where I just black out. I'm sitting there anxious waiting for my turn, and then I go up, deliver the mail, and then I come back down, and I could never do that. Like literally earlier this summer when I was having the best round of golf I'd ever had, I was standing on 18 with the ball teed up and my arms were shaking with my driver because I was so nervous about messing it up. But then, you put me in, make it public speaking or, make it work related. I feel like I can handle it. But
well, I don't know that I can say that I have witnessed that at a wedding of you, but I know I witnessed at a funeral, and I know that's kind of sad. But you knocked it out of the park.
I was like, what?
He did. He tore it up.
Are you talking about at grandma's funeral?
No, I'm talking about at Bonnell Young's funeral.
Oh, dude, I did. Dude, that's such a good example.
Yeah, you did.
Because I had nothing written down. I just went up and went at Mr. Young's funeral.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Dude, rest in peace. Rest in peace. That's my boy.
Bonnell, he was the man, but you killed it at that funeral. That's for
Thank
sure.
you.
I have no idea how we started. Well, I know how we got there, but all right, that's going to conclude our baseball part of the six pack. We go to our last two, and we get to the NFL, and I'm going to start with this. How is Baker Mayfield not the odds-on favorite right now on FanDuel or DraftKings to be the MVP? Because this guy brought the Bucs back from the dead. Well, they weren't dead yesterday, but just every time that you need it, he continues to deliver over and over again. And to me, that's one of the early stories of the season is Tampa Bay, what they got in Emeka Egbuka, and how fun they are. Baker, 29 of 33 for 379 and 2 yesterday. And I think it was actually Levitard said today, I think it was Bill Simmons. He said he thinks that we should just agree now that the Bucs should be in the Super Bowl. Not because they're the best team, but because you at least know it's going to be a fun game. So thoughts on Baker's start and the Bucs and the Seahawks game yesterday, the thriller 38-35.
All right. Well, I just want to say, you have opened my eyes about the fact that Baker Mayfield is not the odds-on favorite. I'm looking at this right now. Baker Mayfield is plus 1,100.
Jordan Love is ahead of him.
Patrick Mahomes is ahead of him.
Yeah, and at least with Mahomes, it's like the pedigree, but like Jordan Love, I'm like, I mean, statistically and not statistically, Baker has had a better season. And then to me, even looking at the guys who are right behind him, Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, both at 14-1, it's like they're on different stratospheres this year in terms of performance, I think.
Well, but the other thing too is that the Chiefs are 2-2. I mean, it's when's the last time? Honestly, this is like a true question. As far as NFL MVP, I know it's not necessarily always the best player on the best team, but it seems to shake out that way a pretty good bit. If not the best team, then like one of the top tier teams. You're not on there if you're missing the playoffs. So Patrick Mahomes at plus 470. I mean, Josh Allen, they faced their first loss last night, plus 135. Like that makes sense there. But I mean, plus 1100 is crazy value for the boy Baker. And he continues to show up week after week. Like you said, he was not dead, but I never doubted them for a second. I knew as long as they got the football that they were going to be able to pull that off. So,
honestly, I think Baker probably is still having to deal with the baggage that comes with a number one draft pick who doesn't stick with his first team, doesn't stick with his second team, doesn't stick with his third team. He has finally found a home in Tampa, 5 years later or 7 years later, whatever it is, 5 or 6 years later, and he is playing like the number one pick in the draft. But there's so many guys that and girls that are voting or that will be voting and are having anything to do with those odds that you're talking about that are still thinking. I mean, it's 100% the same reason why Sam Darnold is currently available as a free agent in the MFL when I got need of a quarterback. And I mean, he threw 4 touchdowns in that same game we're talking about yesterday for the Seahawks. I'm going to put a bid in for him this week because he's available and the dude's throwing 4 touchdown passes. But I think I still have the thought process, man, that's Sam Darnold. He's going to mess up. And I think that's probably the same thing with the odds makers is they're thinking, it's Baker Mayfield. He's going to mess up. He's not going to win the MVP. So that's why it's plus 1,100. But trust me, Baker is balling, no question about it.
Yeah, we saw speaking of bad QBs, we saw some bad QB play yesterday across the league. Justin Fields had some dreadful moments. Geno Smith literally looks like me out there right now. I feel so bad for him. Aiden O'Connell, Desmond Ridder, and Gardner Minshew 2 years ago threw 19 touchdowns and 16 interceptions as the Raiders quarterback. Geno is like 5-9 already this year. Like it's not working out. Then we had Cooper Rush in Baltimore, and then the game in London, Dylan Gabriel actually played pretty good, but Carson Wentz, Dylan Gabriel. So we're not a lot of inspiring QB play. I should have maybe given you a little bit of more heads up for this, but I'm going to read them out. So the last question in the 6-pack is, which team with a losing record right now in the NFL do you think has the best chance to make a deep run of the playoffs? The Dolphins at 1-4, Jets at 0-5, the Ravens and Browns both at 1-4, Texans are 2-3. The Raiders, I don't think anybody's going to pick 1-4. Giants 1-4, Saints 1-4, and the Arizona Cardinals 2-3. Any of those teams, I think history tells us one of them is going to turn it around. So who would you pick of that slate?
Man, that's a good question. All right, I might have to think about who it's not. The Panthers. I think I can't remember what the name it is. I think it's the Carolina Reapers is the nickname that they've been given because losing to the Panthers is a good way to indicate that a change is about to come, whether it be in your starting quarterback, your offensive or defensive coordinator, or even your head coach. I think that the time has come for the Miami Dolphins. I think our boy, what's his name? I always do this where I start thinking about names and I can't remember them. What's your head coach's name? Mike McDaniel. I think honestly, I think we probably would have heard the news if they were going to fire him. I feel like that's Monday kind of news. So maybe he will live to see another week, but I think he's pretty close to his way out. I was just saying though, I think you look across the league at the losing records, it's hard to come up with an answer that isn't the Ravens or the Chiefs. It feels like those teams are kind of primed to turn it around. Specifically, the Chiefs. As much as I hate it, I want to root against them as much as I can. Um, but they'll get Rashee Rice back in 2 weeks. Got Worthy back last week. I would not be surprised if that's a team that starts to get it figured out.
I think the Ravens also have the pedigree that you're talking about, Michael. Obviously, Lamar missed yesterday with the hamstring. He may miss this next Sunday. Then they're off a week. So, I mean, but, they could be 1-5, seriously, going into their bye week. And that is not a formula for making the playoffs. But they're in a division with the Browns and the Bengals. And we've already seen what the Bengals look like without Joe Burrow. I mean, to me, that's the Steelers' division at this point with Aaron Rodgers to win. We'll see what happens, but all the rest of those teams. I mean, Arizona. I mean, they were up 21-7 or maybe 21-3 yesterday.
21-6.
21-6, okay, against Cam Ward and the winless Titans and managed to lose that game. And I know everybody's making so much of the running back that, dropped the ball again before he crossed the goal line. And, you can't excuse that. But they were up 2 touchdowns easy. That's not why they lost the game. There's a lot of reasons why they lost the game. I don't know. I don't think they're going to jump back. So I guess if I've got to pick out of all those that you said, I'm going to go with the Ravens, even though I think they're pretty bad.
Okay. We'll finish up with the NFL. This is not a six pack because we just did it. So just want to read you something real quick. Patriots are 3-2. And let me just read you their rest of season schedule right quick. They at New Orleans, at Tennessee, home Cleveland, home Falcons, at Tampa Bay, home Jets, at Bengals, home Giants, home Bills, at Baltimore, at Jets, home Miami. I think that
got 9 wins out of that. That's
a 12-win team. That's a 12-win. That's what
Wow.
The rest of season schedule for the Patriots. Like I'm not saying go bet the Patriots to win the AFC East or anything, but like I looked at their schedule earlier and I was like, dude, there is, and if they get the Bengals before Joe Burrow has come back, that's like, I mean, so anyway, I'm just saying Patriots, watch out, they might go on a run. So
I don't think Joe Burrow's coming back, and maybe he is, but why would he come back to a team that's like 2-13? Or 2-12 or something. And by the way, speaking of hurt people, Marion Hampton got put on the IR today by the Chargers. So he's out for at least 4 weeks with that ankle sprain that he suffered yesterday against the Commanders. That's a bad look for the Chargers yesterday. 3-1 at home against the Commanders, who, even though Jaden Daniels was back for them yesterday, I'm gonna tell you what, the kid with the hyphenated last name, Jacory, I think. His first name, dude, he lit them up like
he can run the pill. He can run the pill.
Yeah. So,
bro, I thought I had all this stock in him, fantasy wise. I literally thought that I had him in like every fantasy league. I have him in one. I think I just liked the idea of him, but then didn't draft a lot of him. I don't know how it happened.
I got him in the MFL, and I'm very pleased with his work so far. Hey, let me before we get on to our next segment that's not really sports related, kid by the name of Teron Dickens, quarterback at Western Carolina University. On Saturday, completed his first 46 pass attempts.
Broke the record.
No way.
Yeah.
He ended the game 53 of 56 for 378 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he started the game 46 for 46. That's
outstanding.
incredible.
At what point do you realize that?
I don't know, but that was an NCAA record for 46.
I don't think I could have done that on Madden if I was trying to do it on Madden. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And now I think he was dinking and dunking all over the place. I don't think he was throwing the ball much down the field, but it doesn't matter. 46? That's insane. Shouts out to him.
I'm going to let you guys start the buy or sell segment, and I'm going to go pee, which I'm sure is going to piss Michael off, but I can hear you, so go ahead.
No, the overhit. That's
what was the over this week? A half?
Half. I mean, it's just consistently a half.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, I just wanted to look here. When we were talking schedules, I pulled up the Bills schedule to see what their strength of schedule looked like the rest of the season. Bro, if your team is a good NFL team, it's expensive to go to these games. Like all of the Bills games, like tickets were, it says on the thing, tickets as low as $250. Like if your team's good, it's hard to get there. You can go to the Panthers game for like whatever right now.
Well, and one thing you got to factor in also for the Bills is this is their last season in that stadium.
Yeah.
And that stadium, is one of those kinds of things that, it's a small market team up there, and a lot of people have a lot of fond memories of that stadium. And so that's going to drive up the price this year even more than ever. And of course, last night with the big whiteout, kind of taking a page out of Penn State's book, I thought it was a cool concept. Unfortunately, the Patriots had other things to say about that.
Right.
Hey, by the way, speaking of cheap or expensive tickets, Luke's working night shift, so we couldn't get him on the pod tonight. But our boy Luke of the pod, went to WNBA Game 1. Get-in price of the WNBA Finals, $34. That's just a tough scene. So,
yeah, that is.
All right, let's move it on into buy or sell.
I'm selling this week. Mike, it's me. Ahead. I'm selling. All right, you're in the public restroom. First of all, this is not my sell, but I saw a video earlier today where somebody said that you are allowed to pee in the public bathroom and you're allowed to dookie in the public bathroom, but you're not allowed to shit. I thought that was hilarious.
I gotta mark this as explicit now, bro. Come on.
Oh, do you? Can you not say that one?
I don't
My
know.
bad. My bad. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious.
That wasn't even part of the sell?
No. But it made me think that the public bathroom is for emergencies. I don't know what that guy was talking about. Like that place was designed for, whatever. So here's the thing though, man. You go to wash your hands, it's like 90% of bathrooms, specifically like rest area stops or like public bathroom stops, have the faucet that you have to push and then wash your hands, and then literally you get right about through washing your hands. Not even. You just started. Then you got to push it again. It's always cold. You always have to push it like 6 times. Dude, that drives me nuts, man. I'm selling those faucets. I'm sure they save water. I'm sure this is a conservation method, but it's not a conservation method for the sake of saving water. It's a conservation method for saving those people money, and that's what I can't stand. Stop being greedy. Don't be stingy with the water. Give me a faucet. Let me get good and clean so that this place isn't nasty, So that's my take, man.
All right. I'm happy to go second. We can just go across the dial. Sure. I'm buying this week. I'm buying a guy who I think all three of us like, but had not got to hear in this capacity, which is Eric Collins making his NFL debut as the play-by-play guy for the Panthers game. Absolutely electric. I don't know if that's your style or not, if you can't stand it, but it's exciting to hear in the NBA. I mean, and they cut him all the time acting a fool, but him yelling Rico Dowdle's name, him yelling Tua's name yesterday. I don't know why it was his debut. I don't know if somebody got sick and so they just went to him, but it was his NFL debut, and I could have listened to him call it would get old eventually, I'm sure, but it was great yesterday. So I'm buying Eric Collins. I want to see him. Let's have him at presidential debates. I mean, let's have him at everything. So
I want the world for Eric Collins. He is the best.
All right. So my question is where was he making his debut? Because I was listening to the Panthers on Panther Radio with, Luke Kuechly and Jake Delhomme, and the the guy I don't know what his name is. Amish was on there. He was doing the game. So where'd the Collins guy? Where was he?
On
Like
TV, Fox TV.
Yeah, it was the
him
TV
and Mark
broadcast.
Schlereth.
Oh, so he
Yeah.
was doing the TV feed.
Yes,
Oh.
and not only that, but because Mark Schlereth was doing color, and I hadn't heard Mark Schlereth in a while. Dad, I can't explain to you how funny listening to Mark Schlereth is. He was like, I just don't understand what the Dolphins are doing. You know, by the way, Mark Schlereth of Man 101 fame that the Levitard show used to rip off, he would say, back when I was playing offensive line for the Broncos, we ran 6 plays. That's what we had. 6. Like, he is so get off my lawn, Mark Schlereth. So
That's why you hear him on the Panthers game, because
Yeah.
they have relegated him to the
game number 5 or
the K game or whatever, the L game, M game, whichever
Yeah.
Well,
far down the alphabet it is.
I want to read you guys this USA Today headline regarding Eric Collins. Announcer Eric Collins called awful Panthers Dolphins game like Super Bowl. That's incredible, man. That's exactly
Can
right.
you imagine Eric Collins doing the Buccaneers game?
No, bro. What you need to imagine is when the Hornets are what I think they are this year and not what everyone else thinks they are, it is going to be the best thing ever because of Eric Collins. Like, when he actually has a product, and when we're a 45-plus win team, who said that? I don't know. It's going to be awesome.
Well, this was not what I originally was going to sell, but since you got us talking about broadcasting, D-Ray, I gotta sell our boy Jones Angel. I'm telling you what's the truth. If I could call a game talking like this, oh my gosh. Listen, Carolina had a classic radio announcer for almost 45 of my 57 years with Woody Durham. Absolute the best ever. And I know you have to be you have to have an acquired taste probably just to be a Carolina fan to appreciate Woody. Woody's son, Wes Durham, is currently calling games for the ACC network and some of the other networks. Why Carolina didn't hire Wes Durham to take Woody's place, it would have almost been like one of you taking my place doing something, because you would have never known the difference. Complete sound alike, mannerisms alike, everything from talking about where the kid played high school football and where he's from. Jones, I'm sorry, I'm selling. Just can't stand to listen to him.
That might be is that our first ever sell of a person? I appreciate that. That might have broken our record. And I'm gonna have to follow you up with a sell of myself, because I created the 6-pack and I completely forgot to talk about the Braves and Brian Snicker retiring. So next week, because we're running late. So next week, let's hold me to that. We'll hire a new manager.
That's the good thing. We got a lot of time. I doubt they're going to announce a replacement between now and next week. So we got time.
I think so. All right. Well, Dad, you want to set up our draft for the year?
Yeah. So I was going to sell something related to the Cleveland County Fair before I changed to Jones Angel, and just remembered because I listened to part of that first quarter of the Clemson game yesterday or Saturday, and it just reminded me. But anyway. So Cleveland County Fair just packed up and left town last night, this morning, whatever. And so one of the largest, or the largest county fair in the state of North Carolina, and we've always gone. So we're going to draft fair foods tonight. And I think I know that Michael has a new pick on his board after our visit to the fair the other day. And D-Ray and I probably fight over one pick in particular. So whoever gets the best draft pick here probably will get it. But otherwise, fair foods tonight.
All right. I got the brakes beaten off me in the poll. Not even close. So, Dad, you are our winner. Or, Dad, I think actually, Dad, Michael, you might have been tied last time. But Dad, we'll let you have the first pick. Michael, do you want to go second or third?
I'll go 3.
All right, so it'll be DA, D Ray, and MA. Only clarifying question for me is if this is a food, so orangeade is off the table, or no?
No, 100%.
Oh,
You can take orangeade. Yes.
oh, okay. All right, cool. All right,
Yeah.
all right, Dad. First overall pick. What you want to
I
do
mean,
here?
vinegar fries. I'm going with the vinegar fry guys. And everybody talks about how expensive things are at the fair. I think the fries have been $5 for a while now. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the name of the guys that come, but they got two setups now. Yes, give me some vinegar fries, number one.
I actually think it's not related to Culver's, the franchise, but I actually think they're called Culver's French fries. That's the name of the thing. I think.
You might be right.
Yeah, that's the 1-1 pick. I'm gonna go orangeade. I wasn't sure if that was allowed. A good orangeade is the best combo to go with the vinegar fries. If you're somebody like the state fair typically doesn't have an orangeade guy, the OG double O orangeade in Shelby is as good as it gets, and they're hard to find. But orangeade is the number one pick for me.
And now, very unfortunately, that Double O seems to not be at the fair. If you are at the fair with David Ray Allen, he's going to insist that you get an orangeade first so that he can taste it.
That's right.
And then he'll talk about getting an orangeade at a different place the rest of the night, but never get it.
Yeah.
Good pick there, D-Ray. I'm going to go right here with the corn on the cob, man. The roasted corn on the cob. I got it last time that we were there. Dad, watch me. I deleted it. It was probably gone in like no joke, 3 minutes. It feels good to eat something that you can carry around in your hand. So that's what's in the right hand. And then in the left hand, I'm going to go with the ever classic turkey leg. Again, just something that you can carry around and munch on. That's what the fair vibe is. It's kind of ridiculous what some of these people are wanting for their turkey legs, but I also don't know everything that goes into the turkey leg process. Do turkeys have 4 legs or 2? Where are they sourcing their turkeys? How long do they have to be roasted? There's a lot going in there. So who am I to judge?
One thing I'll say about the turkey leg, it's like for some reason when you see people walking around with the turkey leg, it's like it's still like 80% like turkey leg.
Yes.
And very seldom do you see somebody walking. Dude, I saw somebody the other night when me and Mom went Saturday night that was basically finishing the turkey leg. First time I've ever seen it.
That's a great point. That's a great observation.
That's literally like one of the best ops I've ever heard because I've never seen it. It's like your neighbors taking their groceries in. You never see your neighbors taking their groceries in. You never see somebody without a full turkey leg. Like it's like they were just spawned in holding.
I saw a guy Saturday night. He was putting the finishing touches on it, and it stunned me, honestly. You gotta love it.
All right, I'm gonna go with the funnel cake with the second pick. To me, the funnel cake is one of those foods that you don't get anywhere but the fair, it feels like, right? Maybe at a baseball game, but a good funnel cake, good powdered sugar is hard to beat.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, I'm going peanut covered candy apple. I know we brought both HB and Katie ordered a caramel apple, so that's a great fair food as well. But I personally am a candy apple guy, but I am no longer a candy apple guy since I had my teeth fixed.
Yeah.
I can't be eating the candy apple anymore. So
you're a candy apple with a fork and a knife.
yeah, and I'm not even sure I need to be trying that. So,
dude,
but anyway,
I know without a doubt in my head that I would pull at least one of the teeth out of my head if I ate a candy apple right now. Yes. One minimum.
Yeah, Dr. Wilson would probably kill me if I ate a candy apple.
Dude, if I lost a tooth on a candy apple, Dr. Wilson would be like, duh. He'd be like, I'm surprised you didn't lose 4, dude.
Yes. All right. And then, to me, this is a go-to at Dairy Queen on the reg, but I'm going to go the twist cone of ice cream as well. Had one of those the other night. I mean, you can't go wrong with the twist cone. So,
yeah,
Good
I'm
take.
on the record at this point that for some reason, soft serve ice cream, it just does the job for me.
Yep.
I'm emotional about it, choked up. Man, I almost wish we were going 4 rounds because that's where I'm at right now. Where I'm like, I got to choose between.
We can go another round. It's not going to hurt anybody.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm gonna go with the ribbon fry in the third place.
Oh no!
And unfortunately, I have a feeling that I'm going to get my teeth kicked in again by the voters, but it's because they don't know how good an orangeade is. They think a funnel cake is overrated, and they don't know what the ribbon fry that Guy Subtle is whipping up over. Actually, is that in their station, or is that just like is that the?
I think I mean, it's right there in the same thing as the
Yeah.
Shriners. So I think it is, but it's separate. Like you go to them and buy.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Man, a good ribbon fry with some ranch dip is delightful. So sorry, Mike, for stealing your last pick there.
Dude, that is a heartbreaker because I thought I was about to skate out of here with a great draft because the ribbon fries are gas. I mean, I still don't think that this is bad what I'm about to take. I'm definitely significantly less excited to take it. But I want the bloomin' onion. There's like
I had that
4 or
on my
5
list, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 guys who will do a bloomin' onion around there. And it's pretty special. I will say though, one of my complaints about the fair is that hardly anybody's making some homemade ranch to go with that. So it's like almost always like you get the ribbon fries, like hope you like cans, and it's just like it kind of kills the vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
But still good. Still good.
I had a couple OLI. You guys have any OLI?
I had a couple. Go ahead.
All right.
I have nothing.
I had the fried Oreo, which is not my favorite, but like people are obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I had the fried pickle, the fried mozzarella, and then Michael and I stumbled onto some country ham biscuits when we were at the state fair.
Yeah.
And the biscuits themselves, I would say, were probably like Pillsbury, like whatever. But the country ham was very good. So those were the
Agreed.
ones that I had down.
Yeah, I was definitely going to go with the fried Oreo. I mean, to me, a classic Cleveland County Fair or any fair probably is also cotton candy. I'm not a huge cotton candy fan, but like I heard 3 different people buying cotton candy to take home to somebody because they had ordered some cotton candy. So one of them was your cousin Mylan. She was taking Michael home some cotton candy. So, I mean, cotton candy's a classic.
Yeah, it is for sure.
This is a real inside baseball way to end the pod, but a question for folks out there is how do those restaurants that are up on the left side when you're walking down, where do they come from? Because they're not real restaurants, but then they just show up at the fair. Are those Cleveland County people, or they rotate with the fair? Like,
No, it's a real Cotton Eye Joe situation because we don't know where they came from or where they're going.
wow, yeah. I mean, I really never know. They're always advertising. It says barbecue, and I'm like, from where? Like, who are
Right.
you?
Yeah, I think like back in the day in particular, like, Willis's sandwich shop always had a booth at the fair.
Mm.
So I think there were people that, did that kind of business all the time. And then during the fair, they did it at the fair type of thing. But yeah, at this point, I don't know any of those folks. And, since the fair actually went with a Pepsi contract, they don't allow anybody to sell Sundrop at the fair. That is
Wow.
foul as
Wow.
all get out. I mean, foul. So that's
also
a sale in and of itself right there.
I think it's worth saying how much is the ticket to the fair? $10.
Yeah, like $10.
It's a $10 ticket essentially to get in so you can spend money and lots of it on everything else. I mean, I might. Well, I'm not going to sell the fair. I wouldn't do that. But don't tempt me. Who runs the fair?
It could be Dad next year. I'm like,
Dad?
why not, Dad? Why not?
Negative.
Dad, are you the most retired person ever?
Probably not, but I'm pretty retired.
He's got the pod. He has the pod.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. That's true.
True. Listen, I got armchair quarterback. I mean, that was today.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good
Listen,
point.
this is my second recorded, show of the day. So I mean, I'm not retired. I'm busy.
That's a good point. You're booked and busy. Yeah, that's a good point.
Dad,
Yeah.
you want to give a quick shout before we run? What's the situation? Who's playing on Friday? What can we expect?
All right. So quickly break down. You got Shelby at Lincolnton. We'll find out if Lincolnton's for real. They beat Burns a couple of weeks ago. This is a big game for Shelby in the conference. Crest put the wood to South Point last week. They've got an easy one this week. No problem for them. Burns is on a bye this week. Kings Mountain at Ashbrook. By the way, Crest is at Hunter Huss. Hunter Huss is 5-2, but it's an easy win for Crest, in my opinion. And then you got Kings Mountain at Ashbrook. Ashbrook is undefeated, so that one is a big game in the Big South Conference. But the Shelby Lincoln game, obviously, we will talk about on our breakout pod on Friday night. Everybody was like, where were you last week? Well, Shelby was off last week, and the week before that, we were at the Ryder Cup. So apologies for everybody on that, but we'll be back this Friday night.
All right. That sounds good. We piecing it out then?
Let's do it.
Peace.
Later, boys.